Hey guys, this is David at Finish Line Factory, and today I'm going to show you how to assemble AN fittings onto a nylon braided hose. Now I'm going to use all of our stuff, all of our Finish Line Factory hose ends, tools, hose, vise jaw. Everything that we have is E85 compatible, does not break down in the presence of ethanol, and you can use it for building a fuel system, oil system, air, water, whatever you need for your race car to win, right? So let's get started. So I've got my nylon braided hose. I already got one end here. I got a -8 straight swivel fitting on it, and we're going to get a, what do we have here, -890 assembled onto it. So right here. So the first thing you want to do is get a nice clean cut in your hose. You want to make sure to cut it at a 90-degree angle perpendicular to the hose. Otherwise you could have issues where it might not seal properly or seat properly inside of the collar. So you go ahead and take your cutters. Get these at Home Depot, very easy to use, relatively inexpensive. Get a nice clean cut. Now if it frays a little bit, it's not too big a deal. You typically just get some scissors and clean it up a little bit. And then what you want to do is take the collar off of the hose end. Give me a moment, there's a lot of threads. And then place the collar inside of the vise jaw insert. Now what's nifty about this thing is that it allows you to assemble your hose ends without worrying about damaging or breaking them in any way. So you take your hose, try to line it up, try to get all the edges into it, and then once you do that, you insert it while giving it a twisting motion, like that. Give it a nice big push, and then you remove it and inspect it. And when you look into it, you should see the hose come all the way up to the threads. It should be touching, if not almost touching the threads. So there's two ways you can go from here. You can take the fitting and place that into the vise jaw, like that, and then assemble the collar and hose onto the fitting. Or you can take the hose and the collar and put that into the vise jaw and assemble the fitting into the hose. Personally, I like to do it this way. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to place the collar inside of the vise jaw insert right there. Make sure it's nice and flush. So sometimes what happens when you place a lot of force onto the fitting, it tends to bow outward like this. So what I like to do is kind of balance it out. So what you can do is get another fitting or get a collar, just like this one, get a spare collar, and put it onto the other side of the vise jaw insert. And that way when you clamp it down, it'll stay in place. It won't go anywhere. So then you just take your hose end, and you want to make sure, hold the hose so it doesn't push downward. And then you want to make sure that as you're putting it in, you kind of twist it, and you want to feel the threads engage. These have very, very fine threads, and they're made of aluminum, so they will cross thread extremely easily. You want to make sure that as you're threading them together, you thread by hand first. Never use any tool when you're starting the threads. Otherwise, you'll have a bad day. So you get there, give it a few twists. Nope. I'm gonna feel those threads engage. It might take you a little while because, remember, the hose is pushing back against you, so you want to kind of give it a push while you're turning it. Right there. I think I got it. You'll know when you've got it, right? So you give it a pull, nice and secure, and thread it down by hand as far as you can go. That sounds about right. Now I'm encountering some resistance and I can't go any further. So now what you want to do, you want to get your Finish Line Factory wrench. These have different size ends for different fittings. So you might have one for the socket, and this one is for the body, right? So socket, body. Right there. Kind of find it on, and then you just turn it. Now if the hose turns while the fitting is turning, that's okay. That means that the fitting, the body of the fitting, is engaging the hose. So what you want to do is kind of hold the hose in place. That way you want to make sure that it isn't pushed down out of the collar. Right there. If the hose turns a little bit, that's okay. You're going to notice that the hose will turn slower than the rate of the fitting. So you just kind of hold it in place to give it some resistance. And you just assemble away. Now eventually you're going to reach a point where you can't quite get it all the way through. We're almost done. Eventually you're going to get it to a point where you can't quite continue. So at that point I like to pop it off and kind of move it to this side. Let me tell you, doing it like this instead of using 2 wrenches, much easier. And then I like to stop it so that the collar surface and the body surface are kind of equal. So you go ahead and loosen it up and remove it from the vise jaw. So there you go. See right here, the collar of the fitting matches up nicely with the body of the fitting on both its flat surfaces, and it should be touching, if not almost touching. Don't try to go too far. You don't got to go crazy with it, because what will eventually happen is that if you keep going too far, you could break the body of the fitting. Remember, it's aluminum. It's not meant to be 1,000 pound-feet of torque. Just enough to get it so that it's looking like this, where the body and the collar are very close together, less than a millimeter. And there you go. So this hose will be good for, I think, 500 PSI, maybe a little bit more. I'm not sure. I have to double check that. But our nylon braided hose generally rated for about 500 PSI. Stainless steel braided hose generally rated for about 1,000 PSI. And our rubber push lock hose rated for 250 PSI. So if you need anything more than, say, 1,000 PSI, you have to use our PTFE hose. So this hose should be good for transmission oil, fuel, engine oil. The things you would use PTFE for are things like brake systems and power steering systems, where pressures can be as high as 3,000 PSI. For that, you would use like a PTFE hose. So yeah, there you go. That's how you assemble your AN fittings. If there's anything you guys need, you can check us out online at finishlinefactory.com. You can give us a call at 866-RACE-561. In addition, we've also got dealers all around the country. You can check out the dealer tab of our website, and you can try to find a stocking dealer near you. We've got dealers in 305, 954, 561, 404, 902, 912, 207, 212. I guess you could say we've got hose in different area codes. So anything you guys need, let me know. Thanks. Bye.